Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what are you going to be chatting me up about on this week's show?
Ryan, on this week's show, we are going to be inviting in what might be the country with the coolest mascot of all time. That's right, Singapore, I'm talking to you. And gay bookstores. Not what Ryan described them out to be last week. More on that later. What about you, Ryan?
There is more on that later because, number one, I diagnosed Tyler with misophonia and the sad decline of the gay bookstore exactly the way that I described it.
That's bullshit.
So let's fight this out. Tyler, I am about to box you in, so prepare yourself.
All right, yeah, you did say in the intro that you were going to accuse me of something. I don't even know what the word is.
No, in the
it just
intro,
has phobia in it.
I said that I was going to diagnose you with something.
Oh.
I am not doing that here. We'll wait until later.
Oh, good. I can have anxiety until the end of the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Consider me your own little personal WebMD. But this is something where I am going to box you in on an argument we've been having for a while. So
okay.
Fortify yourself.
All right, I'm in.
Do you, Tyler, and I would say most everybody who listens to us, do you ever punch in an address to, I use Google Maps or, I don't know.
Waze is the other one.
MapQuest.
MapQuest is
Are we still doing that?
The OG.
Do you ever unfurl that big giant map like they used to do in 1980s movies?
That was before my time.
So do you ever Google Maps a place
And block your view of the road.
and then try to beat your time? I think...
No.
Really?
Never. No.
Tyler, you and I are such opposite drivers.
Absolutely.
So crazy.
I am, and I'll give myself bragging rights here. I'm a very safe driver. I go the speed limit. I'll get out of the left lane when somebody's trying to pass. I'm very aware of that stuff. Your driving scares me a little bit.
I like to take chances, Tyler.
With other people's lives.
Like a young Donald Trump, I like to take chances.
Topical.
I think that you would be, and this is based off of no scientific information whatsoever, which is my jam.
Sure.
I think that you would be in the minority. I think most people, and forgive me for turning this into a verb, Google Maps a place and then see like, okay, you're saying 254. I guarantee I could be there by 251.
I am totally open to, especially with the way people drive around here, I'm totally open to the idea that people do that. I just simply do not.
Do you know that you can shave precious seconds off of your drive by never using your turn signal? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen other people use that strategy.
Tyler, it's like a skier slaloming down a mountain. It's incredible.
Wait, but you said you were going to box me in. Where's the boxing of the in?
Well, I'm not going to be able to box you in if you answer like a kook.
You mean truthfully?
Yes. Who doesn't try to beat their Google Maps time? I didn't realize I was doing a podcast with a mother flipping alien.
Because
Tyler.
it's incredibly dangerous, Ryan.
Okay.
It's very dangerous what you're talking about.
But
there are other people on the road.
Tyler, I've got nowhere to be and I want to do it right now. But if you won't, I guess I'm not going to box you in because what I was going to say next is it's the same thing as flushing the toilet and trying to finish peeing before it's completely done.
I don't do that either.
You don't do that either?
Nah, I don't do that
What do you
either.
got, little baby kidneys, Tyler? Like, what do you do? What do you do?
Because not much. I don't think of putting myself in these competition mode throughout the day. I've got enough stress and anxiety in my life. I don't need to add to it subconsciously on these innocuous moments where I get to have a little peace.
Okay, well then I don't either. My name is Ryan.
And my name is Tyler.
I'm just kidding. I really still do that. And we are those guys you hate. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Those Guys You Hate. Tyler, my friend, my brother, my co-host. How are you doing?
Good. I am. I'm doing okay. Well, I'm barely hanging on, Ryan. How are you doing?
Do you want me to give you guys a couple minutes, or
Is there somebody else in the room with us?
I don't know, Tyler. Well, I am glad that you're doing one of those three things that you just said.
Sure. Just
because
barely hanging on. All right.
we're here in this room together, and I think that always helps us out. Tyler,
Sure.
I'm going to start with something from last week, and I don't mean this as an insult. I'm just correcting something that happened.
Okay.
You are always on the cutting edge of the news. You're connected in some ways to the internet. The internet wants you to know what's going on right at this moment. Most of it anxiety inducing.
Yes. Well, I was just about to say, I don't know if I'm on the cutting edge. I just doom scroll.
Sure.
And it is a, much like we were talking about before the microphones went on, it is my high. That is one of the things that I do to get those chemicals flowing. And none of them are good. Why do I do it? None of them are good.
It feels good in the moment. But that high leaves you low. That's the deal, man.
Oh, empty.
And the thing that's great with you, at least in that circumstance, I'm sorry that it causes you some discomfort.
It's my choice, you know.
But that doom scrolling, which is just scrolling through social media,
And it's all negative.
and that leaves you feeling empty. The thing that works for me is I don't want to do any of that, and you are connected, so I can come in here and just ask you about things that I've vaguely heard about. And generally speaking, you got the answers.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain times when he has very deep questions, and I don't come loaded up with the ammo that
And
I should.
need the answer now, Tyler.
Much like cash.
Yes.
I need cash now.
I love that. Everybody loves that.
Yeah.
So last week, because you're always right as things are happening, you're reading up on it, you know about it, you called Tyree Richards Tyre.
Oh, yeah. You know, the story that I got it from spelled it Tyre, so I really thought it was tire. Total mistake on my part.
And I think that a lot of people did that. Yeah. I did that as well. I'm just cleaning that up.
No, and
that's all.
Thank you for that correction. I actually saw a story about it earlier today, as a matter of fact, and they spelled it Tyree. And in my head, I'm like, this fucking idiot spelled this guy's name wrong.
Dumbass. Levitard had on, what's his name? O.J. Simpson's lawyer. That is just
excellent.
Fantastic.
I forget his name, unfortunately.
Wow, this is, why'd you bring this up? This is.
I'm so sorry.
Why don't you ever do research, Tyler? Yeah, he is, speaks in a sing-song way. What an intelligent individual, this man whose name I don't know.
Yeah.
And I heard him pronounce it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's clean that up.
Yeah.
Also, something that needs to be cleaned up, Tyler, if you don't mind me switching trails here for a moment. When did standing over somebody watching them sleep become a bad thing?
Always.
Why is that a bad thing?
Because when you're sleeping,
I want to be your sentry.
You can do that outside the door.
I want to protect you.
Outside the door.
Well, is the door going to be closed?
Yes.
I can't see you, Tyler.
You don't need to see me.
What if you're affected by SIDS?
You are the you should get that checked out while you're awake. It's the most vulnerable state a human being could be in. More than pooping, more than getting a massage,
Sure.
Sleeping is the single most vulnerable place you could be. And so you want to be away from people leering over you as you do it.
Tyler, I don't want to be just here on this podcast. We've been accused many times of collecting low-hanging fruit, and I want to be careful to avoid that. What if you fall asleep pooping?
Well, then I'll wake up refreshed. Take a shower.
Death.
Yeah,
I agree. You deserve death.
Sure.
How long after pooping do you wait to take a shower? Is it based on I get right in there.
Yeah, I know.
I got real problems, Tyler.
I know.
Yeah.
We just take I just take a shower at the same time, the same range of hours every day.
Okay, so pooping doesn't affect it at all.
No, I got a system. I got a whole schedule planned out.
Well, I know what we're talking about on next week's show. Let's do Depression Index. That took some turns, didn't it?
No one
Always comes back
cares,
to
you
pooping.
don't know what to do, the world has all
What the
but given
Depression
up on you,
Index
you're
is a machine that I built with my hands very poorly, and we watch you while you're sleeping and describe to you what it's like, and I'm worried about your apnea. Tyler, how was your mental health this week? I mean, you've already kind of given us a peek. Sounded like it's pretty good.
Yeah. The thread that I seem to be hanging on to is very strong.
And unraveling.
It's got some great tensile strength.
Yes.
I think I said that word correctly.
Sure.
Ryan, this week I am doing okay. I'm battling. No, not battling. I am dealing with something. And I don't know what it is.
You're looking around the room as if you're going to find it behind the curtain.
I'm zoning out,
No,
trying to
take your time.
place my finger on it.
Nope, that's not it. I truly want your take all the time you need because I want to hear how you actually feel.
I don't feel great, but with growth comes discomfort and it comes with pain. You can't grow as a person. My belief is you can't grow as a person without discomfort, without struggle
Growing
of some
pains.
kind. Growing pains, exactly. And I have just been struggling with this feeling. I don't really know what the feeling is. It's just that old school anxiety that I used to have way back in the day, mixed in with some anger.
Anxiety was better back then.
And yeah,
These
back when I
fucking
didn't
kids.
know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm not really sure. I'm actually right now I'm on a mission to come back to total and complete neutral with my body in terms of the chemicals that I am taking. So I was on antidepressants, and then I was on testosterone, and then I was on blood pressure medication.
You stopped taking the testosterone?
I've stopped taking the antidepressants. Since yesterday, I've stopped the testosterone, and then in about a month, I'm going to work on getting off of the blood pressure medication, because all three of those I began when I was fat and out of shape.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess once you have changes in your body, it's pretty good to explore the medicines and the stuff that you're putting in your body as things change.
Definitely. I think the antidepressants really helped bring me out of the pit.
Sure.
But then after I got to a certain point, they were holding me back because I couldn't progress because they were holding me to one point. I wonder if the testosterone got me out of that pit, but now it's just fueling all this extra anxiety or whatnot. Could be, might not be. Who knows? We'll find out.
Only one way to find out. Tyler, no longer a T-girl. That's unfortunate.
Well, let's okay. Get me all hot and heavy. Let's slow
Sorry
it
about
down.
that.
Jeez.
Nah, I don't invite T-girls into my life because I'm fine with what I got right now.
That's why I can't live with you anymore.
What if I like it, Tyler? How do I explain that to mom?
You will.
I know.
And why are you talking to mom about
Now,
these
wait a minute.
things?
What if a T-girl is with an actual girl? That's not gay. We'll talk about this after the show.
Okay, can we go back to you talking to mom about this stuff?
She's way into it, dude. Way into it. I'd say balls deep.
Let's go back to the
We're
poop talk.
cutting.
What the shit?
We're cutting all of this.
Where did that come from?
I'm not sure. I guess.
Holy hell,
I'm not
dude.
sure. I don't know.
What's your deal?
A lady in the streets, but a dude in the bed? Isn't that a thing? I don't know. I'm just not looking to take on any new fetishes. I'm already, dealing with the ones I got now.
Fetished out.
Yeah.
Sure. So this week, Ryan,
We're in depression index?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm an 8. I was at a 6, but now I'm at an 8.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where do I find myself a T-girl? I need a Tyler girl. I need somebody who will cheer me on.
Tyler Fire in a different way.
Yeah, I was talking about transsexual.
Wait, do you ask me something here? Or how do we move on to the...
Ryan, how you feeling this week?
None of your business.
And this is where you say gay it up.
Tyler, thank you. Line, get up. Well, Tyler, something that you probably don't know about me is I like long walks on the beach, and I just broke up with my girlfriend.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, now I'm long walks on the beach all by my lonesome.
Man, I knew the long walks on the beach thing. I didn't hear about the girlfriend thing.
Yeah, Nicole has moved out.
Do you like breaking up while on long walks on the beach?
I do like long walks on the beach. I know that's a cliche, but walking right along the water line and looking at everybody around you, I find that to be enjoyable. Back to what is really going on in my heart, Tyler. My girlfriend, we had broken up after a year and a half.
So I guess it'd be ex-girlfriend, right?
My ex-girlfriend, wow.
Sorry.
Man, ouch. Getting used to these pronouns is not easy in 2023. And the thing is that this is, in my life, this quote-unquote rejection, even though we both have decided it's better for us to part ways. In the most amicable, I mean, you watched the whole thing go down. It was a pretty solid breakup, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I wish you would have stopped closing your bedroom door at night. I couldn't watch you guys while you were in there, but I did my best.
I would like for you to kind of stand sentry over me while I'm sleeping now that she's gone. And the thing is that I got to tell you, it has gone better than I had anticipated. I had so many fears and so many things that I am feeling and I am experiencing, and I miss her and I love her. But I'm really proud of myself the way that this whole thing has gone.
That's awesome.
And to push it even a little bit further, this week, because of all the mental health stuff that I've been going through, all of the checks and balances that I've had to go through when it comes to keeping an eye on my mental health and checking, where are you today? Like, hey, not that I'm afraid of going to a sad place or whatever, but I'm trying to. Here's why breakups have always been so hard for me. I've never been able to soothe myself. I've always needed someone else, mostly a romantic partner, to make me feel like everything is okay. And I am there for me in a way that I've never been there for me before. What do you credit that to, Tyler?
Growth.
Diagnose me.
Growth. You matured.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. We need to parent ourselves, and
Sure.
just like any other skill on earth, it's just something that we need to practice more and more. And the more we practice it, the better we get at it.
You said parent yourself, Tyler, as if you're your own child?
Exactly. Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Joke alert.
I mean,
Yeah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyler, I hope when you get back to your room, you give yourself a wicked spanking. Now,
What is it with you today?
What?
T-girl, wicked spanking? Are you trying to get me going? Because it's working.
all right, we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back in 4 minutes.
There is literal steam coming off of my head.
So here is, as I've gone through and really just tried to, as fastidiously as possible, just stay on top of where I'm at so that I can back myself up, not let myself backslide into some life that I don't want because of all the outside stimuli that I'm going through. I decided this week, and I forget already, I've already forgotten millions of times, but I decided this week, and this is going to sound like a weird, out of nowhere statement. I care more about what I think than about what other people think. On face value, what do you think about that, Tyler?
I think it's very important. I know it's very easy to say, I don't care what other people think about me, and I've said that before in the past, but the truth of the matter is that other people's opinions of us can really affect us.
Sure.
And it takes, again, another skill of training ourselves, teaching ourselves that no, what they say, it doesn't matter, unless we choose to allow it to matter.
It should matter to some degree. Don't be a sociopath and just don't care about anybody. That is, Ted Bundy had that nailed down.
No, but I'm not
he's
saying...
a good guy.
I'm not good at some stuff.
We miss you, buddy.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
But that's the thing, is that I'm not saying don't care about what anybody says, but you get to decide whose opinion you care about. And is it coming in as constructive criticism? Is it coming in as advice? Or is somebody just out there shit talking?
Sure.
Those people, fuck what those people have to say.
You're talking about, what's that name? What's that? The internet, Tyler.
Haters.
Haters. Here's the thing. My greatest addiction, and that's a long list, Tyler, has been to what other people think about me. I have been obsessed with it. I have been living my life through other people's eyes, and I'm still there. This week, I made the decision that, and not just a decision, I have done the work to where I respect myself enough to know that I care more about what I think about me than what other people think about me. And now I'm trying to work as hard as I can to make that my default go-to. I'm still in the thought process of, what's this person thinking about me? What does this look like to this person? But it's slowly receding. And I'm telling you, I am right there to hoping that those two, that I could change my thought patterns in that way, to where I'm backing myself up instead of looking for acceptance from others, which I'll never get, because who knows what people think about you.
Yeah, well, something that my teacher told me is, what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yeah,
Because
I've
whatever
heard
they're
that.
thinking of you is just how they feel about themselves. That's it.
Yeah, and that is true, and I think for the layperson, that is a hard thing to wrap their mind around. But I will tell you...
Well, get with it. What the hell are you doing? I'm thinking so negative of you right now, layperson.
Yes,
Focus on that.
We do not accept you. Keep that in mind. But I will tell you, I'm going through one of the hardest things with my neuroses, and I'm there for myself. And you've been there for me, Tyler, and I've been backing me up, and you've been backing me up, and life has been tough, but it's getting better, And
Good.
And I don't mean to be too negative. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure, going through something right now.
Thank you, buddy.
I
So
rolled an 8, so are you
this
kidding?
week I roll a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Nicole, if you're listening to this, I love you. And all right, Tyler, give me one of your segments. It's your turn to shine, Tyler, while I weep into my beer. Should I not be drinking this before yoga?
You're adorable with tears in your eyes.
Thank you.
For this week's oof, Kyrie Irving. Oh my goodness, this man made it so long without any problems. I really thought he got his shit together. But no, the quiet was too much for him.
Let's diagnose him. Let's diagnose him on the radio.
Where would you even start? I mean, egomaniac, which comes with need for attention.
And let me say, Tyler and I obviously don't know this man, and we're just spitballing. The only information that we have is the information that's given to us, and the idea that he is a habitual narcissist would be tough to overlook.
And for anybody who does not know, Kyrie Irving is a famous basketball player who is currently playing on the Brooklyn Nets.
An infamous basketball player as well.
Correct. His last
Foray.
His last foray into issues was when he shared a very anti-Semitic movie on his social media that he shared with millions of people, and refused to rebuke it for many, I guess, weeks at that point.
And what he did to Kanye West.
What did he do to Kanye West?
Didn't he?
Go on.
This is your segment,
No.
Tyler.
This is our show. I want to hear what my co-host has to say.
Thank you. You don't do this all that often. So
I'm curious.
Well, I don't know how far down this path I want to wander, but I mean, Kanye West is just hanging out, being a rapper, and a little bit too close to
Kyrie Irving.
And bang, he gets smacked with what I thought was unjust criticism.
What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
I'm doing a thing, satire. I didn't expect for you to give me this much rope to hang myself.
Well, I'm glad I did.
We'll cut all this. No chance.
You can't say that 5 times an episode.
Welcome to our 7-minute podcast.
Jesus.
Where are those guys you have?
And thank you very much. Yeah, so he has requested a trade. They have been hot recently as a basketball team. They have been on fire.
As a Miami Heat fan, terrified of the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, not anymore.
They could very easily come out of the East for sure. They're very talented.
But
what happened? I just saw the headline yesterday on a bar TV with no sound.
Yeah, the rumor is that he wants a max extension, and over the 3 to 4 years that he has been on that team, every single year, that's not hyperbole, every single year, there has been an issue that has arisen from either injury to not getting vaccinated to being anti-Semitic, where he is unable to play in numerous basketball games. And these games, as you can imagine, are important. They matter. We need our second best player on our team, and he can't simply because of some bullshit that's going on in his life. And it was unfair of me to say injury because that's nobody's fault. That shouldn't be counted towards.
Well, of course, you're right about that. But and he has just this knack for staying in the headlines for things that just feel embarrassing. I don't know which way to describe it. I don't even mean to attack this guy. My guess is...
I'm confused.
My guess is that he's going through some shit, brother. And again, that's no excuse for being racist. That's no excuse for, not backing down when you've made a mistake. But a part of me, my heart goes out to him. Stop being a jackass. But I could say the same thing to me. You know what I mean?
Definitely. My guess is, and this is a total shot in the dark, I don't know any fact behind this whatsoever, but I do believe to a certain extent that maybe he has, like so many famous people do, an echo chamber around him where after this whole trade thing came up, for sure, but after this whole trade thing came up, he put on his social media, amongst other things, only surround yourself with people that support you even through the hard. It was something like that. And really it sounded like him saying, only put people around you that agree with you.
Well, the issue is, especially in that, and I don't want to speak on his specific situation. I'm just talking about the demographics and the way that basketball works so often, is that you have people, I don't know what his history is. I'm not,
in terms of
growing up, I don't know what financial situation his family or his friends were in, so I don't want to speak on that directly. But you have one person who is making all the money, who has all of the fame. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Uncle Drew, but big old Italian kid.
You told me it was good.
Really fun, man. Yeah. I mean, kind of like a Space Jam kind of vibe with all the different basketball players. A lot of fun. But they hold so much weight in this relationship that you can't, especially somebody who seems to suffer from such narcissism. You can't tell somebody like that you're wrong. They'll just cut you off.
But it's not even not wanting to disagree with them. Because his agent, I believe, is his aunt. Like,
how could that go wrong, Tyler?
Exactly. And that's
I believe it's pronounced agent.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know why I stopped you for that.
And that's the thing, is that I'm not even speaking against people who are scared to speak up against their employer, these people who are literal economies. I'm talking about the people that not only hear the crazy shit you're saying, but want you to double down on that crazy shit. And there's a lot of people who are, There's a significant difference between being too scared to tell somebody, hey, don't do that, and on the other side going, hey, not only do that, turn it up a notch.
Gas them up.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what those conversations are like behind closed doors.
Sure.
But I will tell you, it would take an extremely extraordinary person to say, I am going to implement some people around here that are going to disagree with me because I need it. Usually when you've been rewarded that many times, you think it's because of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is because of him. But it's like, say, a basketball player. They almost always have agents. So these people want you to succeed, but at least they have a different perspective and can go to you and be like, hey, Kyrie, this is a bit of a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or a lawyer who can be like, hey, I want you to win this case. Don't do what you're about to do right now.
Or a team. That's the thing with the Brooklyn Nets. And we don't have to diverge out into this.
Sports talk, baby.
How about that?
Because we're men.
But the thing is, that Brooklyn Nets team, of course, I know nothing, but that guy came on Dan Le Batard's show who was a journalist who was embedded with the team. Who basically talks about the inmates are running the prison. And I don't mean that in any sort of discriminatory way, but where you have, let's say you're working at a bar and you let the bartender run the restaurant, chances are you're not going to have great results because a bartender is a bartender for a particular reason.
And you're going to run out of tequila quickly.
Tyler, don't be too specific with the alcohol, okay?
I just meant, bourbon, excuse me.
Don't say that one either. Say gin. So, in other words, so I'm interested to know what the backstory is here. And just as a sports fan, I hope he does get traded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not to Miami, please.
I don't know. I'll take
him?
I'll take him coming off the bench.
Oh. And that, Ryan, is...
So we don't know what he did. All we know is that he's just requesting a trade?
Yeah, he wants it before the... Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Because...
Why are you oofing him?
Because, well, he can't stay out of controversy, and all of a sudden, this guy is willing to make a mess to get out, because that's the thing.
That's fair.
He didn't go to these guys and be like, hey, I like a trade. He immediately went public with it.
Sure.
Hey,
That's
give me a trade right now.
That's his vibe for sure.
And we're a year removed of him talking shit about James Harden doing the same fucking thing. You double standard son of a bee.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously going through some shit.
Yeah.
I don't mean to just slap that on like that guy from what's that sealant commercial with the big cylinder of water? And it's like, bam, Kyrie's fixed. But he's obviously going through some shit, man.
Or just getting really bad advice.
I will be interested to know as he gets older. Wisdom tends to sneak up on us as we get older. And he doesn't come off to me as a extremely stupid person. Like you said, he may just be getting bad advice. I'm so interested in this story. In anything that happens with him, he's like if Scientology played basketball. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He fascinates me.
And that's the thing. And it's unfair of me to just hold up these little points and say, hey, look at this. But I've seen him in interviews when he's just him and the interviewer. Dude, he seems like a really nice individual. He seems like, as you said, not a dumb guy.
No.
But it just seems like whenever he's making the announcements, I assume surrounded by the people around him, he's doing crazy shit.
Yeah. So. And not doing what we talk about on this show so often, because you and I are full of bluster and piss and vinegar, but we're willing to walk backwards when we made a mistake. Like if we call somebody tire, hey, how about that? And then we move on. I believe it's an idea of not wanting to say I made a mistake. How far are we, Tyler?
39 minutes.
Okay, that's with the pregame?
With the pregame.
Why do I ask you that every week?
Because it's always with the pregame. That's a
really,
good question.
Really strange.
I don't know why.
I deserve to be yelled at. Tyler, let me diagnose you very fast.
What a weird thing to yell at you for.
Just whip me, Tyler.
You son of a bitch.
Just whip me. What kind of a T-girl are you? Tyler,
gotta stop bringing that up.
There's nothing Freudian about that.
Gotta stop saying that.
Why does this ink blot look like a lady with a dick, Tyler? What do you want me to do?
Why do I want to put my dick in it?
So here's
Sorry,
the
ladies and
thing.
gentlemen.
Yeah, that's come on. Crass, Tyler.
Too far.
So I'm going to diagnose you here, Tyler. I am going to tell you something, and I think that you might agree with me. Maybe me diagnosing you with this malady, maybe this is a step too far, but I think that there's some sort of, I think there's something here.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of misophonia? I think I'm pronouncing that right.
No, I've heard of mesothelioma, but I hope that's not. I hope that's not what I have.
Tyler, if you have
asbestos.
Tyler, if you have that, I know somebody who can make you so much money in a class action lawsuit.
I've been saving this 1-888 number
Tyler,
forever.
You are going to be rich, not in life, but in money.
So much asbestos.
Yep.
Wait, I think I said that wrong.
It's
all good.
Unfortunately, we've already named the show Asbestos We Can, so I won't even pick at that.
That's true.
Misophonia, if I'm saying that correctly, is, tell me what you think, a strong reaction to specific sounds. That's where the phone comes in. A strong reaction to specific sounds, which it's where you have a reaction to things such as dripping water, snapping gum, or chewing. Repetitive noises that just get under your skin and cause a real reaction.
Yes. I mean, obviously, there are certain noises that drive me insane, while there are other noises that I think are totally common, like the clicking of a pen. When you're in a room and somebody else is clicking a pen incessantly, that one's annoying to me. It doesn't drive me insane. I think that's a pretty common...
to be affected by.
Yeah, to be affected by that is pretty common.
What's so weird about it is, if you're clicking the pen, it's great.
That's it.
If somebody else is clicking the pen, it's like if somebody's shaking their leg in bed. If it's you, feels great. If it's the person you're sleeping next to, you want to choke them.
Shaking their leg in bed? What are you talking about?
You don't ever do that?
Shake my leg? Why would I do that?
It vibrates the bed. I find it to be very calming.
Oh, now every once in a while, I'll just shake my hips just rock back and forth. I don't know why I said shake my hips. I meant rock back and forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Presley.
I was going to say, I'm not Ricky Martin.
No, well,
I
unfortunately for both of us,
yeah,
Tyler.
it's true. Or Shakira.
He's a handsome son of a bitch.
He is. Yeah, I rock very slightly back and forth sometimes, but I don't know about shaking my leg.
Well, you have misophonia, Tyler.
Uh-huh.
I want to rock with you. So let's take a break and let's see what else we discover about your body. What's going on, everybody? Ryan Menendez here. Now, I know that you're such a fan of this podcast, you already know it, but part of this advertising is me explaining shit to you that you already know. Buckle up! So much of this podcast is based on me being a total kook. Now, a bunch of people have reached out to me, and they have let me know that they want to be a kook too. Now, this isn't something that you just stumble on. It doesn't happen by accident. You gotta put in practice. 10,000 hours, am I right? So, what you need to do is read the books that I read. Now, what we've done is we have signed up to work with Audible so you can read the books to become a kook like me. THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Now, here's what Audible wants. They want for you to go over there and get a free book that I'm offering you so you can read, you could get on board, you could sink below the waters and end up in the same place that I am. And what they're hoping is that you'll get that free book, you'll sign up, and then you'll forget to unsign up, and then they can charge you at least once, okay? You know it, I know it, we all know it. Beat the system by breaking that contract before that happens, or stay with them and continue to learn and grow and flourish like a big boy. So if you go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com right now, all of my reading recommendations are there. You could sign up and get the book for free, and then you have 30 days to cancel your membership, and you don't get beat on the deal. You know you won't because you're lazy. That's why you haven't moved out of your parents' house. We love you. Thank you for supporting Those Guys You Hate, and let's get back to the show.
Those guys.
We just understand advertising so much better that you can't prove it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. You're all done. Is that what that hand waving like that
I'm
means?
all done. I figured we'd do a silent communication sort of thing, and you fucked it up.
I like this when we do silent connection. I think this is good.
You hate.
I think this is good that we can kind of communicate with one another without the audience knowing.
Ending each other's...
Sandwiches?
Correct.
So you're all done.
All done.
Silently now I know that.
Those guys you hate.
Red Circle, tell us about your edamame paste.
You know how much fun it is to eat edamame at mom's house?
Sure.
Imagine a handful. It turns into glue. It is so sad. And I don't know if you've seen that lunchbox that I bought. You haven't seen that black lunch, like it's almost like a.
Oh, I saw that. I thought you already had one of those. It's like a carry-all, but you can put multiple meals in there.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I've just got it filled up with different nuts, and I'm carrying it around like that guy from Fantastic Beasts, Tyler. Like a fucking kook, man.
And something just keeps trying to escape the inside of it.
Sure,
Yeah.
it's a pecan,
Yeah.
and it's just been so. I'm eating like that. I'm eating super clean, and then all of a sudden, I'll just dump 5 gallons of tequila on top of it. And my body's like, oh yeah. How do you feel about Montezuma's Revenge?
Sure. Yeah, you reach a certain age, I would say, for pretty much everybody, gets into your 30s, because I'm now going through it, where you don't have the youth side of aging anymore, where no matter how badly you treat your body, you can feel good the next day. You have to start making those decisions. Do I want the high and the enjoyment from the food and the alcohol I'm eating and drinking, or do I want to feel good the next day?
I don't feel good even if I've done all the right things.
Then you're fine. Keep
That's
doing
where
the
I'm at
tequila.
in my life, Tyler. I'm in my 40s where life is just a downward spiral.
Okay, so 6 more good years left, and then I'm fucked. Good to know.
I didn't say good years, Tyler. I just said 6 more years, and then it gets worse.
Great.
Tyler, and very quickly, and this is what I was going to chit-chat with you when we came in here, and it was going to be like off the cuff.
Chit-chat.
Yeah, that's one of my rap names. Tyler, I listened to that podcast, Killer Psyche, and
Tell me about that.
They're doing one right now on the Aurora shooter, which I'm venturing into.
Oh, the movie theater.
Right, the guy at Batman Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
What I just listened to completely is they did one on, I guess, the most famous swatter. Do you know what swatting is?
Yeah, it's when you call into a police department and tell them that there is a live shooter situation, and they send the SWAT team, and it could be anything from somebody has a broken front door to somebody's dead.
Do you know that originated in video game culture?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It started on either 4chan or on one of those.
We can review.
Yeah.
I find this to be so wildly interesting.
It's such a fucked up practice.
And they're using the computer to run it through so they can't be traced. It's a whole deal.
Yeah.
Knock it off with that.
Yeah.
But this woman talks about the psychology of it, and man, what a great listen. Speaking of psychology, Tyler, you and I this week had some hard talks, did we not?
We did. Wait, meaning, I'm not going to make that joke. Yes, we did have some difficult talks.
We did have some difficult talks.
We did.
And what would you like to describe about that?
Well, as I said earlier on the show, growth is difficult, and it's hard, and it's painful, and it's super fucking ugly at times. And you have been watching me grow in terms of express my emotions and vulnerabilities right in the moment. But because I'm so unaccustomed to it, when I actually do it, it's ugly. There's
a fight or flight component to it. And you know what?
A lot of it.
Now that I'm letting go of my narcissism, I have found it very hard for me to confront people. I used to use that, the best defense is a good offense, where I would just be unhinged.
Boiling oil.
And because I thought that I deserved everything in the whole entire world, like a good little narcissist should. And now that I have stepped back from that, I'm having trouble relating to people when I am having an issue. You and I had a conversation, and I will tell you what I pulled from it, okay? I am going to start examining how the way that I talk to people and how it affects them in terms of, I have always thought, hey, it's me. It's your old pal Ryan. I'm just sarcastic. Come on, I'm just playing. I could say anything. And what I'm recognizing is that's not true. That's not true. Your words have weight to them. They have a value to them, and I have to be more aware of that.
Well, I think what's important for everybody to know is that it's not the words you're using, because you can say, hey, fuck you, or, hey, man, fuck you.
Sure.
You're saying the same thing, but the tone that we use is so important. And for me, like I said, when I'm sharing my vulnerabilities, my tone is panic.
Yeah.
Like my tone is anger and panic, because I just have all those fucking emotions running through me. So I would say for everybody out there it's not just the words you're using, but think of how you feel as you're saying them, because that can amplify the tone that we're using.
But what about this, though? And this is a problem that I get into. I'm still trying to get out of my patterns of being selfish and all of these different things. What if I know who the person that I want to be is, and I'm doing what I can to enact that? The problem is I still have those feelings. Even if I'm putting one foot in front of the other and doing what I've decided to do, it can be very hard for me not to have those internal feelings flare up without me even noticing.
And it's going to be very difficult. For anybody who can hear the sound of my voice, it's going to be difficult. You can't undo years of training your brain overnight. So it's going to be very challenging, very difficult. It's just as long as you are intending to be a certain way. If you say, hey, I intend to be kind, and in that process of learning how to be kind, you're kind of a dick to people sometimes.
Sure.
That's part of the process. You're not just going to be 100% kind all the time.
That's what I got going on right now, Tyler.
No, but it was an arbitrary example.
No, but that's true. I want to be kind, and to be kind, I have to systematically go through and eliminate these things that I do that could be less than kind. That's
Definitely. If I may say so, I don't think you'll have a problem with me bringing it up. You've said in the past, I would like to be less selfish.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Do you think that anybody who wants to be less selfish immediately stops being selfish? Of course not. You have to have selfish moments, so then in those moments you can go, oh shit, I'm doing it again. This is the stuff I'm trying not to do.
Had I known how long that process was, perhaps I would not have pushed off that particular beach.
Sure. And then you'd be even more miserable because of it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known it as much. Tyler, let's stop talking about my sad existence and let's do a week in review. Tyler, tell them what week in review is.
Week in review is when we go back over the previous 2 episodes and we find the things that we got wrong or that we said that are stupid, and we like to correct them on the following week's episode.
All right, let's do gay bookstores first, since we both looked it up and you're totally wrong. Tyler, last week I had casually mentioned gay bookstores, and you didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Did we look it up?
Yes. You made it sound like you have to walk into these places, undress, and put a towel on like it's a swingers club.
That is the way that it was explained to me by the guy who rode the purple motorcycle with the tassels coming off the handlebars.
My guess is he was just going to gay clubs that adorned it with books.
I think they asked him, like, sir, this is a Barnes & Noble, and I don't know what you're doing. So this is what I got. Gay bookstores offered a space to meet other LGBT people, open parentheses, besides the bars, close parentheses, and were often the first stop for someone new to town. Remember, this is before the internet. So a gay bookstore was just like a meetup for, tell me if I'm wrong here, Tyler. I feel like as a gay man, your sexuality goes a lot more unchecked than it would in a heterosexual relationship. Is that a fair assessment for me to make?
What do you mean by goes unchecked?
There's a lot less strategy to betting someone. Do I have that right?
Absolutely. Because when you're in a heterosexual relationship, the person that you might have your eye on always has to have in the back of their mind, this person could kill me. Whereas when it's man and man, that thought can definitely be there. There are some violence in the gay community, but men just aren't programmed that way.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, we don't have to think that way.
The same way we go out to our cars and at night in a parking lot and you don't have to look over your shoulder 50 times like women do. I had not punched that in.
There are plenty of sexual women out there that would have, I would assume when ladies call in, would have way more sex. It's just the fear of, death.
Yeah. And the internet's a son of a bitch.
Yeah, it is. I just found here, thank you, ChatGPT. It's really changed my life.
No!
It's changed my life.
Tyler, no!
I've been talking to it like crazy.
Wow, this is really going to revolutionize Week in Review.
It is the best. I don't have to search through websites anymore.
Wow.
Gay bookstores, also known as LGBT. I'm doing a new thing where I'm not saying the other letters. I'm just going LGBT and calling it a day.
Tyler, you're hateful.
I don't against my own people.
How about LGBT plus like Disney?
Are specialized bookstores that cater to the gay community by offering a selection of literature and resources that reflect the experiences and interests of gay people.
ChatGPT has never done boots on the ground journalism like I have, Tyler.
Well, I think most people haven't.
Sir, you're not wearing that towel in the right way.
You're wearing it like a turban.
How are you holding that up? Tyler, last week, and this is one of my favorite words ever. Last week, I used the word cretin. Did I know what the definition was?
I do not.
I did not, but I have looked it up. Definition number 1 for cretin. I love the word cretin. Mm-hmm. Derogatory / informal. It is a stupid person used as a general term of abuse. Or 2, that's the way that we use cretin, right?
Sure, yeah, it's a very negative thing.
Or number 2, dated medicine term for a person whose mental and physical development has been impaired by a deficiency of thyroid hormone in fetal or early life.
Okay, that one's very specific.
That's very specific, but that's an actual person who was just born without a particular hormone.
Yeah, that one's unfair.
Yeah, sorry.
That one's unfair.
You know what, cretins? We're bringing it back, Tyler. No longer a bad thing.
Well, I think even if we were to apply it to just that one definition, it would still be kind of a bad thing.
No, it's like being a nerd. It's good now. Okay. I love a cretin, Tyler.
Congratulations on your deficiency, cretins.
God, how do I get that? It's like Kylie Jenner's pumped up lips.
Well, that I can get you. I got a
Really?
guy. Yeah,
Oh.
sure.
I got a lip guy.
Ryan, last week I had mentioned the movie that John Malkovich had made that won't be released for 100 years.
That Wu-Tang album of John Malkovich's movie.
That's
I know-
right.
Yeah,
Do you remember the conversation?
I do. Oh, I'm not doing this right.
It was advertised in 2015 with the tagline, "The movie you will never see." It is due to be released on November 18th, 2115, and the film stars an international ensemble of John Malkovich, Taiwanese actress Shuya Chang, and Chilean actor Marco Zaror, and the title of the movie, 100 Years. It's a short film.
And it's going to be released when? Tell me that date one more time.
2115, exactly 100 years after it was made in 2015.
Wow. That is an interesting way to do art.
Yeah, I would say just from the perspective of John Malkovich and the other actors and actresses in the movie, it's kind of cool knowing after you're dead, they're going to premiere a movie that no one has ever seen before.
It's a movie time capsule. It is kind of cool. Kind of like that Wu-Tang album that I joked about. That's a really interesting way to make art that nobody else is doing.
Actually, the thing is now I realize you got to put trust in the people that come after you, because if they don't put it out, it was all for naught.
Yeah. What do you guys not have that big giant reel? Like, what if they don't have the technology anymore?
True.
Does anybody have a VCR that we could use for a moment?
It's like trying to play an 8-track now.
I could do that. I got an 8-track guy. Tyler, last week you said that thinking burns calories. Did you sound like an idiot?
Oh, thank you. What a weird way to phrase that.
The old bait and switch, but in a positive way. Tyler, while the brain represents just 2% of a person's total body weight, it accounts for 20% of the body's energy use. So that means during a typical day, a person uses about 320 calories just to think. That's crazy. And a calorie is just a unit of energy.
Energy, that's it.
That is so interesting. Different mental states and tasks can subtly affect the way the brain consumes energy. It makes all the sense in the world. Also something that I had never considered. That's something that makes sense to me and also shocked me.
Sure, yeah, just one of those things that we can so easily take for granted, you know? Our brains.
I would love to, as you know that I am just completely in love with statistics, I would love to chart how many calories my brain burns a day. Truly.
Apple, get on that with your watches, please.
ChatGPT, give me a call when you have a second.
And Ryan, for my final one, last week I mentioned in my rant a linoleum coffee table. Did you give me a hard time and sound like a fool?
I got to eat it on this one,
Yeah,
Tyler.
there are because you said it was only for floors.
Tyler, I again,
linoleum coffee tables, linoleum countertops, linoleum for everybody.
Look under your chairs. Tyler, you're just rubbing salt on an open wound. I was wrong. I'm a big dumb dummy. And
Just gotta stand up for my boy Linoleum.
Yeah, I apologize. I was wrong. And I'll never castigate flooring again.
This is the most sincere apology
I made a
for
mistake.
something regarding linoleum I've ever heard.
Where's the camera? Do I look? Is it 1 or 2? Okay, I'm gonna look directly in this camera. Linoleum? I was wrong. See Kyrie Irving? See how easy that is?
You know what, Linoleum? You are real. You're a real boy.
Yeah, and that's it. I made a mistake. Linoleum everything.
There you go. And that's it for my Week in Review.
And that's Week in Review.
There it is.
Great job, Tyler.
You too, bud.
All right, and don't you have another?
I do. You want to just jump right into International Hello?
Hit it, and we'll split it. Oh, I thought this was the opening to the Oscars.
No. Singapore, Ryan. You heard of it?
Sure. It's when you say Singapore, you know what I immediately think of? Do you know who Michael Fay is?
Sounds familiar.
Michael Fay is a kid that back in the, I believe, the early 90s, late 80s, I believe got caught, Week in Review, vandalizing, spraying graffiti in Singapore, and they caned him.
Oh.
They caned him.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a big deal. And I remember as a child, I was obsessed with it. Forgive me for interrupting your program.
May I ask why you were obsessed with it?
Just the idea that this kid, he wasn't going to die. They weren't putting him in like some sort of a death penalty, but they were going to inflict incredible pain on this kid And just for whatever reason, I guess maybe the same reason I was attracted to true crime, like my mind locked on it. You know what I mean?
Well, good news, Ryan. They still do the caning.
Michael Caine.
Ryan, Singapore.
Yeah, yep.
I already did the you heard of it thing. Well, let's play a round of Ryan and Tyler are terrible at geography. I only have 2 questions for you, okay?
Next to the Philippines.
Are you? That's pretty good. Are you ready, Ryan?
Yeah, beautiful anthem, by the way. I enjoyed it.
It was nice. It was. All right, Singapore. Is it in the Eastern or Western Hemisphere?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. I would say my heart says Western, so I'm going to say Eastern. Yep.
It's in the Eastern. You don't know that the Philippines are on the east side of the world?
It's a circle. How could there be an east side?
But we have maps that are flat.
I don't subscribe to that.
Okay, Ryan and Tyler are really bad at geography. Ryan, which of these countries is Singapore bordering?
Okay.
Is it A, the Philippines, B, Malaysia, or C, Canada? If you fucking say Canada, I will lose my shit.
If this is Canada, Tyler, I'm going to be pissed as fuck. I'm going with the Philippines because that's where I started.
All right. But you're wrong.
Oh, is it Canada?
It is Malaysia.
Why ain't Chilean next to me?
I think I have that right.
Okay.
Anyway.
This is going well, I think. So
I think
far.
when I wrote Malaysia, I think I was supposed to write Thailand, but I could be wrong. Now, first and
the
foremost,
flag is on fire, Tyler.
Singapore is one of only 3 city-states in the world. Can you name the other 2?
I absolutely can, but before I do, what's a city-state?
A city-state is a country, a sovereign state that is only a city and its surrounding area.
The Philippines is an archipelago.
Yes, it is. That is true.
I don't know what a city-state is, and I don't know the answer to your question.
One is Monaco.
Okay.
The other one is Monaco. And the other is where that guy likes to reside that wears the big old hat. Catholics love him.
Children?
The Vatican, Ryan.
Oh, sure.
What?
You know what I'm saying.
Sure,
is
I
right.
don't want to, though.
Yeah.
Second fact, Singapore is not only safe in terms of crime, that's where we get into what you brought up, but it's also very clean.
Yeah.
Why? Because they take littering seriously.
I don't like the capital punishment, but I do like that the Disneyification of walking down the street, if you spit your gum on the floor, it's an issue, Tyler.
Yeah, or in the bushes.
It's an issue.
Yeah, well, your first fine, I don't think they'll cane you on your first fine, but your first fine will be up to an amount of 1,000 American dollars for littering your first time.
You know what? I feel like littering rules here should be way more stringent.
Oh, way more. I don't know about $1,000, but I mean, it would certainly stop people from littering.
Sure.
And they also give out tickets for jaywalking and spitting.
Yeah.
And they will cane you for doing these things.
Do you ever see somebody just walking down the street and just spit?
Yes.
It takes me aback. I don't know if I'm doing some judgmental thing, but I'm always like, oh.
Oh, I thought you meant taking you back to the days of when you used to do it.
I did used to do it until somebody called me out on it, and
Gotcha.
now I'm just a hypocrite, Tyler.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, what is a hypocrite other than a person trying to change?
You just blew my socks off. I don't know, Tyler. Let me think about that.
Well, third fact, my final fact, and this one, I mean this when I say this, this one is officially one of my favorite facts about any country I've ever covered on this show.
Wow.
Ryan, what is the official mascot of America?
The bald eagle?
Correct. The bald eagle. That is
actually our
mascot. It's our state, it's our country bird, but it's also what we put on our money.
Sure.
It's what we put on our
flag,
on
Right.
everything.
It's not on our flag. Forgive me.
It is what is represented with our country.
Absolutely.
The official mascot for Singapore is the merlion, Ryan.
The merlion.
The body of a fish, the head of a lion.
Oh, you know who else has something like this? I believe is Scotland.
Oh, I didn't know that. We'll have to do one on Scotland next time.
I believe Scotland, their mascot is a unicorn. We can review.
Week in review, although Scotland, you're going to have to listen in first before we can cover you. We can't invite you into the family if you don't listen to our show.
And you'll have to send us one of those plaid berets with a little fuzzy ball on top.
Oh, my God. And send one of those skirts that your bagpipe people like to wear. Those are wonderful.
Sexy.
Why is it that men wear pants and women wear skirts? Don't you think they'd be better flipped?
That's a great question, Tyler.
Just saying.
I don't
Women
know.
could really use the protection down there. Men could really use the breeze.
Why could women use the protection down there?
Well, just because men are creeps and there's no upskirt with pants.
Somebody's projecting. Tyler,
What?
So what's a merlion? I'm unfamiliar with the merlion.
The body of a mermaid or a fish and the head of a lion.
So it has a full fish body, or does it separate at the waist like a mermaid?
Separates at the neck. It's the full body of a fish, and then right at the neck is the lion.
Tell me more, and I'm going to Google this because I'm having trouble thinking about what you just said.
Well, you're going to get a photo of the famous fountain that's there, and it's really cool. It looks like it's like made out of like marble or something like that.
Merlion, Singapore.
And that's it for that alone, Singapore. For your mascot alone, Singapore, welcome to the Menendez family.
Is that a giant penis?
I don't know what you're looking at.
Oh, no, it's the tail. I got to tell you, especially as somebody who is so deeply connected to, what are they called? Our logo, our mascot.
Reverse centaur.
Reverse centaurs. I got to tell you, this merlion, kind of whack.
What do you mean?
It's got no arms. What does it do?
It spits water. It's a fountain. What do you want from it?
I'm just saying the actual animal itself, kind of whack. It's no griffin. It's no...
Well, it'd be deadly in the water. It'd be the most dangerous thing in the water.
Unless you got arms.
What are you talking about?
It'd
be able to swim left and right like nobody's business, and it has the fucking mouth of a lion.
Sure. Underwhelmed. I'm sorry. I mean, no judgment. Good on you,
You're
Singapore.
just jealous of its mane. I wish you could have flowing locks like that.
It's just not as like a griffin. That's badass, right?
Well, what country out there has the animal or mascot of a griffin?
Weekend review. Tyler, great job this week, player.
Was it a great job, Ryan?
That's a great question.
We said some dumb things on this episode.
Well, I mean, that's kind of just the weekend review. It's going to be plentiful 2 weeks from now.
True.
Tyler, tell everybody how they can reach out and tell us what dumb things we said.
Go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com and click on the links and subscribe. And on that front page, you can write to us. You can leave us a voicemail, and you can tell us about all the ridiculous things that we got wrong on this week's episode.
Love it. Tyler, what is the moral of the story?
The moral of the story, Ryan, is that technology, I guess today it's ChatGPT, before it was Google, and before that it was the internet itself. Technology begets technology, and we are, I feel, total guess, right on the precipice of everything changing again, the way that the internet changed us. And I think it would behoove us as a society to just keep a positive outlook. Don't immediately think that the world is going to end just because of these advancements. Let's see what good they can do for us. Let's see what, the way that they could change our lives for the better.
I'm interested in it.
We don't have to use the Dewey Decibel System anymore. Thank you, Google. What
did you call it?
Is it the Dewey Decibel System?
It's the Dewey
Decimal
System. Love a Dewey Decimal System. Do you know what that actually is in reference to?
I do not.
I believe the Dewey Decimal System, I could be wrong. I think that's how you organize library books. Weekend review.
Oh, I thought you meant where it originated in terms of who the fuck Dewey is. Yes, the Dewey Decimal System is for libraries.
Okay, cool.
I mean, at least that's where I've run into it.
Sure.
I hope like NASA's not using it. It's like the way that the nuclear weapons are run by floppy disks. Ryan, what is the moral of the story?
I think that the moral of the story this week, and I think there's been a kind of a sensitive episode just because of all the change and everything that's going on here in this house. My moral of the story is, if you hear me and you can really internalize what it is that I'm saying, look at the way that you value other people's opinions of you, and then compare that to the way that you value your opinion of yourself, and see if that is in the right order. And what I would suggest is, because it's not something that's going to change overnight, start doing the things that you can do to make you value your opinion of yourself more. Start being that person that you would respect if it was someone else. Start, practicing the habits of somebody that you would care for. And over time, if this thing works the way that I'm praying to God that it does, you will slowly build up that relationship with yourself. You'll be there for yourself. You'll be able to comfort yourself. And hopefully one day, in that split-second decision where you make those wrong, where you have a history of making bad decisions, you will be there for yourself and you will care more about what you think than that person that you're talking to.
Well said.
We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you. Red circle.
Yeah, I always picked a Wario or Waluigi. I think that kind of gives my general feeling of just being against, being against society. Like, I don't want to be. Who the fuck picks Mario?
I'm sure a lot of people. He's the iconic character
Whack.
in the game.
Whack.
Mario Kart we're talking about.
Sure.
I think those are the only two characters in the game that are true to who they are as people, simply because we're about to get on that racetrack and I'm about to fire weapons at you.
Sure.
At least they're the only ones that are willing to admit that they're evil.
What do you mean?
Well, Mario and Luigi and
Sure.
Yoshi and Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, I know underneath that brawny musculature and that crooked ass smile that there is a demon under there.
I mean, he's just wearing a tie. You cannot. I've certainly gotten into all sorts of trouble, no matter how long you make it. Not long enough.
Are Chip and Dale's clubs looking to hire?
Absolutely. Up next on main stage, Yogi Bear.
I was going to say they need a bear that
Hey.
happens to be a donkey.
Hey, boo boo.
Fuck, a monkey, not a donkey. Damn it.
Donkey Kong?
Called him a donkey.
Sure. Tyler, I was expressing my frustration with technology with you just a moment ago. And I'm really having problems because you understand how I feel about planned obsolescence. And we've talked about it many times on the show. What is planned obsolescence? I'm putting this on the pregame because I know people are sick of hearing me yell at clouds.
I haven't gotten tired of it yet.
Thank you.
Only because I have to be in the room with you as you do it. As Ryan just said, that he got into an argument with me about the technology. Actually, he got into an argument with the technology, and I just happened to be an innocent bystander.
I don't know. It's not that you're an innocent bystander because technology works so well for you. I feel like you guys are in cahoots. I feel like you guys are a couple of cahooters.
Well, that's because I sweet talk it and I call
Sure.
it baby every once in a while. When I tap these keys, I tap them just the way it likes it.
Sure,
So
tickle its motherboard.
I know what it likes.
Yep. Step motherboard. You're stuck in the dryer.
How'd you get stuck in there? Let me help you by taking my pants off.
That's not helping at all.
Well, not you.
Now, here's the problem. And you said all of that stuff without describing what planned obsolescence is.
It's just the way that these companies plan around their technology, plan for it to break down sooner than it naturally would. So you go out and buy another iPhone, go out and buy more light bulbs, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. And the issue with this is that we're running out of resources rapidly.
Yeah.
And this stuff, all of the technology, it uses resources that are pretty hard to get, right? That's why they're trying to take your cell phones back and do everything that they can do. The stuff that they're making the chips out of, isn't that am I just making this up?
Well, lithium comes from Africa, and lithium, which is very important in today's smartphones and different gadgets, very important.
And in the 50s, depression and psychological problems, yes? Lithium?
I thought that was mercury.
No, that's what they used to give people to calm them down. Lithium.
God, were we stupid.
Yeah.
Although that was somewhat back in the day when they would give their patients MDMA to cheer them up.
There
So
you
we
go.
might have been onto something.
How about just give my leech MDMA and then
But it takes from you.
this
not
thing
gives.
this thing hits slowly, but I like it.
Yeah, and it is much like putting the phones together in China. The lithium mining operation in Africa is slave labor. We
Yeah.
get these technology, we get these phones and all these different wonders here in America and other parts of the world by taking from other parts of the world.
Well, not just making the people who live there take for us and letting them die, for our convenience. Tyler, that is an inconvenient truth.
It is. But how else am I going to send a text message if 5 people in Africa don't die for that text message, Ryan?
I've seen that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Blood Text. Insidious.
Excellent. He nailed it.
Yeah, incredible. I don't know how he didn't get an Oscar for that.
Do you know it's a toe every time you type a letter? They
Ouch.
should take a toe from one of those guys over there.
Oh, shit. This is a misprint. Sorry about that. What's happening, though, with this is, and I think you're seeing more of this, is that people are now not buying the new cell phone the moment that it comes out the way that they used to. People are starting to get hip to the game of like, wait a minute, this thing costs like buying a used sedan, and now I'm going to buy another one in 11 months. Let's slow this down.
Well, not just that, the inflation and the money situation in our society has gotten so bad in terms of it moving up to just the wealthy. That people don't have that money anymore. There was a lot more spending money 15 years ago.
Yeah, but Tyler, they will set you up on a plan where you're going to be making money.
really?
No, they're
Tell
not.
me more
They're
about
not.
this.
They're just going to trick you and make you feel good. But really, it's insidious the way that all this stuff is happening. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, and they're all building their bunkers waiting for the end of the world.
I would never just go out and buy a new phone. I'm going to ride this one into the ground.
As it upsets you.
The problem is they're breaking it down in the only way that I think could affect me. I guess maybe if I couldn't get on the internet or whatever, but what is being affected right now in a way that is making me want to, what was the last time that you punched something inanimate? Like punched a wall through, well, you got video game controllers.
Yeah. If we take out controllers.
Yes, take video game controllers out of it.
Oh boy, I punched a wall back when I was a teenager.
Okay.
I punched a drywall, my hand went through it, felt like a badass.
Oh.
I also felt kind of bad, not my wall.
They used to call me Stud Finder.
That was his gay name.
It was really hard for me in high school.
Yeah.
Now,
Said his gay name as if it's some kind of alias.
game. And here's what they're doing. They're taking away my ability to use the microphone function. You know that I use that for everything. I got fat thumbs. I got toe fingers. I don't like typing. So I speak into my phone. I don't know if that's weird. But it is breaking down at an alarming rate. So I will speak. It records half of it. It puts bro in there. It starts, like, I'll say, like, all right, I'm on my way. And it'll type out, I'm on my way. But it starts it with, oh. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it changes everything. It's like you've surprised me, like, oh, I'm on my way. The way that you text nowadays is a big deal. You know what I mean? We use it more than talking.
Agreed. You have to spell out the punctuations as your voice to chat on your phone. If you want a period at the end of the sentence, you have to say period. Do you do it in public? Or do you feel a little ashamed as you spell the actual sentence out?
I don't think of it at all. I will tell you this. People definitely make fun of me. That is for sure.
Well, I'm on my way to you in terms of I do it out in public now, but I still have that, oh God, can people hear me say comma and period?
Quiet. But I will tell you this, all the people who have made fun of me in the past, I've seen a lot of them doing it.
It's just the new thing. It's like when people started typing onto their phones, when text messages were first invented. I'm sure that looked weird as hell. I don't have a perception of it. I don't have the memory of that, but it must have looked weird as hell. Everybody looking on their phone and just typing, and it wasn't with a full keyboard. You had to push the number three times to get the letter C.
And I got to stop in the middle of snake. I mean, dude.
That's right.
It's funny you say that because I remember reading a story about how text messaging was taking over in Asia. And I'm like, this is the stupidest shit ever. Who is going to stop talking to write a sentence? That is so dumb. Ryan, prognosticator from the stars.
Age like milk.
And finally, now I told you a long time ago that I ran out of space on my phone. They hooked me on this iCloud for $2.99 a month.
They just got me yesterday. I had to.
And how much are you paying?
$2.99 a month.
They're trying to move me up to $10 a month because I've run out of storage. So they are now threatening me with my memories. They know I'm dead serious. Your pictures, your phone is everything now, and they are threatening me with my memories.
You know that you can just download all your photos on your computer, delete them all, and save all that space.
They don't let you move that. I'm sure that you can.
They do.
And I'm okay.
They even give it to you right in the option of where you can upgrade.
I'm just telling you that it's not as easy as you think that it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you know what? You're just being patronizing,
I just
Tyler.
don't think you've gone looking. I think you've given in to their ransom.
There's a possibility that could factor in somewhere.
You have given into their blackmail.
Fuck that, man. Steve Trabao, I'm going to kick your ass. All right, let's do the podcast so we could make it to Baby Goga.
Did you spend all pregame thinking
I've been
thinking that out?
formulating Tom Brady, come save me.